Well, first of all, thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. It's been a while. We were just talking to Seno-san, but we've been away from Japan for quite some time. But this actually gave us like a moment to reflect what Obon means to us. So for me, Obon was like a pure summer joy. The reason why I'm saying that is, during the Obon time, there's no school, so no pressure, right? And it is like a family gathering, while we're kind of respecting our ancestors and stuff like that. And we also have like summer festivals that we can enjoy. So to me, like a pure summer joy as a kid. We got different memories with siblings and cousins and extended families. So that was fun. As an adult, that's something you profoundly miss because I live in the U.S. And also, maybe a few years ago, I went back to Japan during the summertime. And I don't know if Seno-san agrees with me, but Japanese summer is unbearable right now. It's so hot and humid. We are so spoiled, like central heating and air conditioning. And then Japan systems look at local cooling and heating. So we're so spoiled. So when I went back to Japan, I was like sweating, just standing, doing nothing, but just sweating. So Japanese summer is unbearable. So I don't think I will probably go back to Japan during the Obon time. So it's even have a stronger meaning, I guess, something you profoundly miss. And that's something you get super nostalgic about as an adult. That's my answer. How about you, Seno-san?
Obon is one of the two major holiday events in Japan. One is that the New Year's Day, that's a big extended holidays, at least for 3 days, and where we will get together as a family and kind of renew our lives. So it's a quiet and family time for that New Year's Day. And the other event, Obon, is, for me, it's during the August time, around this time of the year. And it's summertime, and since I was a kid, that's really a big summer holiday seasons, no school, and I lived in Japan. I grew up in Tokyo. So my experiences, in Obon, it's more like a carnival feel. And there's a Obon dance, and there's some kind of shops to play games and buy some foods. At the same time, my mother came from a countryside, Niigata. So sometimes we went back to her home in Niigata during the summer times, Obon. And that was a completely different kind of experience. It's more kind of religious feel. Now, whereas the New Year's is for the family to get together, Obon is more like paying respect to our ancestors. One thing that's really memorable to me at this Niigata is that we all wear kind of a kimono, and as a child I wear this small kimono. And even though that we had electricity when we were a kid, we did not use flashlight, but we used a paper folding lantern, and kind of you can stretch flat, and you put the candle in it. And we light the candle, and we know how long it will last. And before the candle light aside, we just walk as a family to the nearby small mountain where some of our ancestors' gravestones are there. So just walk to those gravestones. And as a child, I didn't really do anything. I just observed. But my grandma and all those older people kind of pay their respect to their ancestors and then came back. By the time we came back to home, the candle was almost out. But that was kind of a special feeling that we can felt kind of close to the ancestors, and that tradition must have lasted for many, many years. So that's kind of memory I have about Obon.
Yeah. Sinusa, I really liked what you said about that it was more of a carnival feeling, right? Although it is also called the Festival of the Dead, you know, ancestors, but still there's a feeling, rather than being sad or feeling, you know, fearful about it, it's more of a festive feeling, right? Yeah.
So everybody couldn't get together, all the kings at one. So it's a family time too, but we remember our ancestors. Now, it happens to be on the same time that we remember the end of the World War II, which was August 15th. So it was always a big news in Japan every year. Around this time of the year, they talk about the war we had and ended 75 years ago. But people still remember, and there are a lot of movies show. I guess around this time, the movie Totoro was released some years ago. But at the same time, there's another one, Hotaru no Haka. I don't know how to say it in English, but it's a really sad wartime children's story. So people like to play those special movies that help us remember that kind of wartime. And also during August, August 6th is the date that we always remember the atomic bombing in Hiroshima, and August 9th, another different type of atomic bombing in Nagasaki. So there are a lot of time that we remember the past, as well as that our past ancestors and people.
I'm glad that you mentioned that, Seino-san, but I have something to add, like a Hotaru no Haka. I typically avoid war movie because it's just so sad. And Hotaru no Haka is, all the people who watched the movie said it's wonderful. And I just like a bowling, even though I haven't watched the movie, but I just heard the storyline from friends. So I think that's one of the masterpieces that I would never watch because I know how I'm gonna be.
But isn't that kind of that movie was the scene of your hometown, Noriko-san?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Kobe.
Mm-hmm. Kobe. Exactly. So that's something I will never see, but I know the storyline, and every time I think about it, I just cry, tears up. And I also want to share, like a few years ago, when President Obama visited Hiroshima for the first time, I was there shortly after that with my kids, just as a coincidence. So then my kids went through the museum, and it was very impactful experience for them. My son and my daughter, maybe 2 years apart, and how they took it is slightly different, but they took time going through the museum, maybe 4 hours. So that was also like significant for me. So I'm glad Seno-san mentioned that, that's one of the annual time for all the people in Japan, including Japanese people outside of the country, sort of reflect what it means to us profoundly. So that was good. Thank you for bringing that up.
Yes. Thank you, Seno-san, Noriko-san. So I would like to go to my next question, which Seno-san slightly touched upon, that he has celebrated or spent time during Obon in Tokyo and Niigata, right? So, I wanted to know, as we saw in the video, that depending on the region, even in Japan, it's observed differently. The different customs and the dance is also different. Obon Odori is also different, and the way they celebrate is different. So, if you would like to share, how is it observed or kind of celebrated in your hometown? What specific things do you do? Well, how is it different from the rest of the country?
I guess my experience in Tokyo was quite different from that Niigata. It's more fun and helps the young people enjoy the event. Just like the movie, just a video we saw at the beginning, there's always Obon dance. It's not a difficult dance. I guess when you just observe once, probably you can join in the circle and enjoy kind of dancing together as a group, circling at the stage. So that was one fun event. Also, as a kid, with some allowance money, that I visited each shops and bought some kind of delicacies and did some games and tried to win even more kind of candies type things. So there's a time to play with friends, visiting each kind of shops, and also sometimes dance together.
To my experience, both of my parents are from Kobe, so we don't have a lot of difference. But as I remember, my paternal side has celebrated Obon in a formal way. So all those things like we saw in the Obon explanation at the beginning of this call, like, all those lanterns, how you welcome your ancestors and stuff like that, all happen there. And my maternal side has a big family. So we sort of used Obon as an excuse just to get together and have a huge family party. So Obon to me, it's like, if it is equivalent, it's like a July 4th family get together combined with full fair experience for American friends here. So like Seno-san said, there's an arcade or like a small food stand and games, all those summer fun, stress-free from school, like I said. So it was really good. And adults can use an excuse to have party, catch up each other, and then kids also see their cousins and to see how things are going with one another. So to me, it is just a combined, just a whole, like I say, pure summer joy. So I actually had a privileged to have like both formal and also informal, more like a family gathering type of experience with my Obon memory. Although I don't have anything to compare, so I don't know if our way of celebrating is very special in terms of like a regional, uniqueness. But that's how I remember Obon.
Thank you. That was interesting. Yeah. I would like to pause here and just tell we have about 10 people watching us live on YouTube. So, guys, do you have any such story or any such special custom which you observe during Obon, or anything similar in your country or in your culture? If you would like to share something, you can share in the comments. Or if you have any questions for Noriko-san or Seino-san, you can ask in the comments. They would be happy to take them at the end. Okay, so I would, next. So I would like to ask you if you have, I know you have a lot of memories, including nostalgia, simple fun, holidays. What's your most favorite story or most favorite memory of the Obon?
Me, I think I am a foodie. I love food. And that Obon is one of the a few times my maternal grandmother showcased her favorite chirashi zushi. So I don't know chirashi zushi in English way. Chirashi zushi is the word, but it's like a sushi rice and mixed with different ingredients. And in Obon, I believe you don't eat meat. And her chirashi zushi is basically vegetarian chirashi zushi, I should say. So that's something I always look forward to eat. And that was like a good excuse or attraction for, if you will, my uncles and aunts and cousins and everybody, just grandma's chirashi zushi. So that's something I remember as a good memories from Obon. How about you, Seino-san?
Such a long time ago. I don't know if I really remember much, but food is definitely one thing, since it's during the summer times. Obon time was associated with eating cold watermelon, eating that, and eating cold noodles that make you feel a little cooler. But I guess it's not just the food. I will not say it's fun, but just looking back, I think in Japanese culture or in our minds that we believe that our spirits after the death will go on to live. I think most of Japanese believe that our existence does not end with death, but our spirit will live even after death. And some people believe that those ancestors' spirits will watch over you. But during the Obon time, what's so special is that I think they believe that those deceased one, the spirit, will come back to kind of see us during the Obon time. So we will also like to welcome them. And I think that makes the event kind of special. So I wouldn't call it fun, but it's something that always stick in my mind.
Yeah, that's something this opportunity made me think. My father passed. So during this time, I want to believe that he will come and visit us. So all those things that are good. But like I said, my paternal family was more formal. So we go to the graveyard, buying like a special setup, like a bouquet in a way, which also probably has a meaning. And we clean the gravestone and everything, and then we just visit ancestor that way. But I thought all those like national holidays have some meaning over like hundreds and thousands of years. And then that actually reminds us important values. So I'm not considering myself very religious, but more spiritual. But all those like values from Buddhism or Confucianism sort of like build in those events. So without noticing it, all those like things we do together as a family, sort of like educate us to have an important value, like respect for the elderly, or respect or appreciation for the ancestors who are the very reason why you are here. So I was kind of reflecting, do we have something similar in the US? Do you think we have something similar, Sano-san, like respecting ancestors and stuff? I don't know. We have Veterans Day or Memorial Day and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess in the US we have a Memorial Day, but I think it involves more like immediate families. So I don't really know in the US there's some kind of major event to commemorate the ancestors. But there's one thing that I feel that the people involved is that I see a great passion among some of the Americans for their roots, or they do some genealogy works. Even though that in the US it's like a 200, 300 years young country, I think people, some people have a good passion of just finding out their family trees and their ancestor lines.
Right. So, I mean, I was like reflecting like a July 4th, for example, it's the Independence Day, right? And I wonder, I don't think I have celebrating those holidays with that type of mindset. But, this opportunity kind of reminded me each holiday has some meaning for a specific culture. And I was kind of want to be like a mindful for my kids going through different holidays in the U.S., different like holidays or long time off, like Obon, to what it means, and then it could be just a national holiday and what it means for the nation, what it means for the your entire family, but what it means for you as an individual. So I think holidays and all those things kind of you can start reflecting every year what it means to you. I think it's good way to remind your values and experience.
I mentioned this before, but I think I would like to mention again that Obon is a really special time for most of the Japanese, especially after 1945, when that war ended. Because every year, this is a really solemn moment that we spend a quiet moment to reflect what happened and what a great tragedy we had. What was so significant amount of people, number of people suffered from the war, and we kind of renewed a resolution that we will never have this kind of war again. I think that kind of resolve has helped Japan as a nation to not be involved with any kind of national conflict, try not to build up that armed forces as little as possible. And even though that the war was terrible, but because of that, many people feel that the peace is so important and we need to preserve that by any effort. I think that's kind of feeling that the feel. I think most Japanese have that kind of sensitivity in their mind, and that's something I guess I would like to convey other nations' people, that what kind of feel or resolve most of the Japanese have during this time of the year.
Yeah, I do agree. It is a commitment to peace, don't you think? I mean, even though I did not experience the World War II by myself, but all those like stories that were shared generation to generation, how important it is, how lucky we are without having this like, war or disruption to our lives. So yeah, totally. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you very much, Seira-san, Nariko-san. It was, very interesting. Most of us just know Obon as, initially we were talking about, as a carnival or just wearing yukata and just dancing or just, having nice food, more of festive, like a festival. But you have shown the deeper aspect of it, how it is related to the war, how it's related to the commitment, Japan's commitment not to kind of, engage in war. And so very interesting. Thank you very much for the deeper insights. Right. So, we do not have any questions as of now, because I think it was so interesting to hear you guys. Do you have any message or anything you would like to tell everyone how they should celebrate or these 3 special days of the year?
Well, if I may, I think you guys are doing a wonderful job to organize this like a virtual event. And I'm very honored to be partnered with Seino-san, my long-term friend, talking about Obon. And I got to know who he is through this conversation, which is great. And I also encourage the people who also enjoy the rest of the program, like yakisoba making and Pomodori, just, virtually how you can experience like a signature festival and the deep reflection timing of Japanese people.
I really hope by next year's Obon, we don't have to worry about this pandemic, and we could get together and we could have a Obon festival by JASCO and kind of dance together and play together. Hope that
Yeah.
that will happen.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paris, for Preeti, for the hosting this. Appreciate that.
Not at all. Thank you so much for your time. And as you mentioned, Noriko-san and Seno-san, yeah, we are actually missing, celebrating Obon in person, dancing with everyone, and enjoying all that yakisoba and yatai food. So we are just trying our best to bring everything to our homes, to everybody's homes, through Facebook and YouTube. So we do have fun videos coming up over these 3 days. So everybody look out for, we have origami, we have calligraphy, and a cooking class, which is so interesting. So you can be ready with all your ingredients and cook together. And to end with the Obon Festival on Sunday, August 16th, we have the Tanko Bushi video, which is releasing on Sunday at 1 p.m. So do look out on our Facebook page and Instagram and YouTube as well. And our cooking video would be released on Saturday, which is tomorrow at 5 p.m. So you can follow our Facebook page, JSCO Jasco, to receive notifications whenever they are put on. So with this, I would like to thank you, Seno-san and Noriko-san. Thank you so much for your time. It was so interesting to talk to you. I had a lot of fun. I hope everybody who's watching this.
My
Yeah.
pleasure.
Thank you for having this.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.